we are alive. So I'll say indeed and greetings upon you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you. Thank you for choosing to be here with me, for collaborating instead of being in competition. I don't know if that one lands as hard as it tried to land in my head, but it's definitely something. I appreciate you joining me today, friends. It's nice to have you here for another day. Like I've been thinking today a lot about this loop between collaboration and competition, especially in the context of how the society we're living in right now, the financial systems, our medical industries, even, all of these things were built on this understanding that we are competing species, right? We used to live quite wild lives, to say the least. And these wild lives came along with being raided and raiding, amongst other things. There's a little hair in my grinder. And we had to try and survive. We had to try and survive by basically just killing one another. And that was kind of the society we used to be, because there was only that much to go around. And now we're starting to transition into this future society, a society of abundance, where we have all of the stuff. We have too much stuff. We have so much stuff that the amount of stuff we have isn't even distributed to everybody who could need stuff, right? So how is that going to influence us going forward? I genuinely believe that the only way for us to actually survive going forward is to switch from a competition mindset to a collaboration mindset. Where if every single one of these technology companies that we support right now have been working with one another this whole time, just imagine how much we could have been able to do by now. But no! There is competition, and it's a little bit of a paradox in my mind at points, because one part of my mind understands full well that competition can allow for extreme technological growth, especially in the context of technology companies competing against one another to have the best tech, and with this best tech to sell the best tech. Whoever has the best tech will have the most sales, so there can be that financial incentive to do so. And there can also be the caveat of, as soon as these companies work together to share information with one another, they can technically boycott the market. I don't know if boycott is the right word. They can manipulate the market, keeping technology bad, arguably bad, for longer periods of time, allowing themselves to make more money on developed technology instead of continually developing new technology. So that being said, I understand. I'm not being just a naive hippie being like, oh, dudes, choose love. Oh, yes, I am saying that as well. Given. But the question that I'm asking today is more, how can we transition into the next state of human consciousness when it comes to this competition mentality? If this is something that is real, something that is a part of our humanity at this point, how can we change our systems going forward to not be supporting this competition mindset anymore? Good morning, Mel, infamous sock. It's nice to have you here. It's nice to have you here, Shannon, beloved friend. Even Red Clicker. First to love Mel, Red Clicker. You seem so excited about it, so yes, you're first. You were first, Red Clicker. It's nice to have you with me. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure having your collaboration in this moment. So this my words right now is because of you, Red. Yes, smoking hooch. Smoking hooch. I don't know if you're talking about marijuanas. You call it hooch where you're from? Hooch in my country at least is alcohol. I don't know if smoking alcohol is a wise idea. Hmm. I see fires made of marijuana. You're like, what? So I don't know if you'd be able to see it. Maybe you would be able to if I bring it close enough. You see those little housing structures that kind of like overlap one another? they kind of, in a way, can look like flames. And as soon as I closed my eyes, I just saw these fires with marijuana sickles as the flames. It was kind of beautiful. Good morning to you, Mel. How are you? I'm doing well, Mrs. Dabbs. I'm doing well, friend. I'm feeling like I might have a hard time motivating myself in some ways, but at the same time, I'm motivated enough to be here now. So I'm paying attention to that contrast, you know? How about you, Mrs. Dabbs? Where can I get that necklace? This necklace was made by yours truly. I mean, the little crystal was made by Mama Gaia, of course, but the little top piece was made by me along with the string. I mean, a part of me wants to make them and sell them as dabs. Part of me wants to do that. But it's a little bit difficult with me being in South Africa to the point where I would have to charge you friends basically double what I would want to charge you friends just because of shipping. And then it loses its appeal, you know, whereas like, what? X amount of daras for something I hang around my neck. I'd rather not have something hanging around. I got to make this one for myself though. It's such a pleasure being able to wear it. Thank you for seeing and for asking, friend. Without competition, there is no motivation to proceed. I understand crypto 111. I do understand the thing that I'm touching on today is more so than saying this thing bad, this thing good, is these things are. How can we find balance within them? Collaboration and competition. A collab. Difficult sometimes. Shan, the bearded patriot, Dan himself. It's nice to have you here, Brother Bay. Thank you for joining us. So nice to see you. How are you doing? How's the family? Choose love. actively, actively infamous sock to choose love. It's difficult sometimes, right? There's so many things that get in the way that want to be chosen above love, especially the reactionary kind of experiences. Like after Mariah shared in that way that love is actual free will, you know, that you have the capability to love whatever, literally whatever. And it's a little bit paradoxical in itself as well, that you can love literally even the most horrific of experiences, but it is your free will to do so or not. Man, they dropped my stream. Uh, uh. They were like, what? Collaboration? Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going to read the comments that was left. I hope I... Oh, it actually works. Nice. What up, Volcorn Poodle? Nice outfit, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you sending love. Aiden, it's nice to have you here. Brother Bay. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing, man? Are you sure crypto competition is a catalyst for sure, but good desire to see other lives better be a catalyst too. That's what I want to believe, at least, Brother Ryan. I don't know if you're here right now, but I think the collaboration here is. I think the collaboration mindset is going to be one of wanting to make the whole better. Hey, Christian. Yes, see, this dude is strong. Your brain is like.
Did you leave? Did you take it somewhere else?
I mean, it's still plugged in though.
You bitch.
Follow the lead though.
You fucking whore.
Oh! Indeed, greetings unto you, gloves and guacamole friends. Yeah.
Oh.
Gobbledygook. Good morning. What country are you in? South Africa. South Africa, friend. It cut out. It's true. I'm selfishly wanting you to feel good, so I can feel good about you feeling good. Damn it. Here's what I. Motivation is a fickle thing. It comes and goes, but learning to put in the work when you're not motivated is the real shit. Yeah. Said it to myself, Ryan. Okay. I think I can start another stream. Christian! How was werk? Oh, I mean, I was not werk. Yeah, thank you, Jovan. It's nice to see you here, friend. We're going live on the Reddit again. Are you arrived?
Oh,
Are you arrived, Christian? You have arrived, and I do think that you're alive. What is it for what you strive?
how long has it been beeping?
It's been beeping for hours, Christian.
Was it?
I'm losing my mind, though.
Well, I guess we didn't hit our target just before getting paid. Although technically it is payday. We're gonna miss it by like 187 rand.
187 Rand. We had a budget this month. We could only spend $300 on food. Yeah.
It wasn't that bad.
It was literally that, Christian. 5,000 Rand is $300, so.
Oh, sorry, like dollars.
No, not Christian. People don't understand Rand, so I'll always be talking in dollars because most of our friends, like even if you're not in America, it will be easier to speak in dollars. Hey, who needs tears? Hello, wonderful humans. No, wonderful you. Thank you for joining us, friends. So nice to have you. I think I'm feeling, dude. It's still plugged in, Christian. Follow the cord, though.
You, this fucking slut, bro.
I'm going to flying kick him over the countertop if he keeps going on like that. I'm feeling a similar way today. Nothing is really wrong, but moving slower and feeling. I don't know what it is, but it's a bit something. It is a bit something. I'm feeling a bit of that something as well. I'm happy. I'm stable. I'm here. Instead of being anywhere else, we are here now, and that's the only thing that we can really focus on. Invest into collaboration and competition, Christian. No more TTs. Finally. Thank you, Christian.
Christian fixes everything.
Christian, jy is die beste. Ou.
Fucking fix alles.
Jy is die beste eerste.
People's lives. Fix the world.
What's your intention? Collaboration is how I believe we can fix the world. Come sit next to me.
Oh.
Morning, Melton. Oh, Gregs. So nice to see you, brother bear. Man, it's been a genuine pleasure. Suddenly I have tears in my eyes. No, stop. Oh, stop. Greg, it's like honestly having you in this space with us has been such a pleasure, man. That you are seen and so appreciated here. I'm happy, stable, and bored as hell in this house. Mrs. Dabbs, so I'll watch. Thank you for watching, friend. I'm sorry that you're bored. I'm trying to connect bored now to collaboration or competition. Give me an intention, Christian. Collaboration.
Rest.
Collaboration and rest.
Rest.
Okay, I'll give you some rest though. Make you rest in pieces. Rest.
We made it.
We survived.
Oh my God,
Christian.
we got through another week. Help me! Oh my God!
Enlighten me, Melt. I can't. I'm sorry, Mrs. Dabbs. I don't know how to enlighten people. I have journal entries about enlightening people, but unironically, Dabbs, I'm just a person. What I think of as enlightenment, genuinely, like unironically, what I think of as enlightenment is you believing that you're more than just your body, Miss Dabbs. So that's a question I have to ask for you. If you want to be enlightened, do you believe you're more than just your body? Do you believe you're more than just your name? Do you believe you're more than just your occupation, your food choices, your hobbies, the things you like to watch? What are you, right? And if you answer that question even remotely in the the context of I am soul, I am aware, I am spirit, I am here now in this moment, then you already are enlightened, Ms. Dabs. My job's done, friend. You got this. Oh, welcome home again. Christia, thank you, Ms. Saka, saying hi. It's so nice to have you here as well. Welcome here. Welcome home. Bees and messing. Bees and messings on the blue behaved cannoli friends. Indeed, greetings unto you, beloved and only friends. Stop trying to give me strokes, God. Do this. So suddenly one day, Meltmore is in his 88s. Gob shows up with a message like that. But at this point he's gotten so contrived where it's just like actual mind viruses that he types into his texts, tries to get me to be knocked down. Then I read it and I actually have a stroke. No, because God save me. Oh, Gob is trying to hurt me. Oh, please, Gob, have mercy.
I'm no longer Christian right now.
He is just a molten pile of goo.
A body.
He's just a body right
My
now.
soul has left.
His soul is no longer with us, friends. Please type F in the chat for Christian. He has been.
We did some good today, homie. My inside person that's working for Modern Hero stuff
Okay.
has spoken with some charities and they thought our app was schmexy. Bro.
Dude, I literally was telling Ryan today about your app again during our yoga. So the fact that you had some stuff happening there as well is extra nice, dude. It is a schmexy idea, man. And like things are happening on Ryan's side as well that might be indicative of that side of the reality. So all of the little things are falling in place to you. Thank you, Greg. You are so loved for the day. Thank you for the love, Aunt B, for the big brain time. Mrs. Dabs, now that is someone that's enlightened, If you give big brain time award, instant enlightenment. That's how it works. Donate one big brain time. I'm having a hard time even joking about it. I mean, entertain me. I do believe this. I am me. There we go. I'll try and entertain you as much as I can, Miss Dabs. Look at this dude. Look, entertainment. If that isn't entertainment, I don't know what it is. Aiden, thank you for saying hi to our friends as well. I'm very simple. I believe in Buddha enlightenment. The Buddha never said what enlightenment was, but he said that it is freedom from suffering. Well, seems I'm very much not enlightened, Christian.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Cunt, son of a fuck.
Can you please not, Christian?
Oh.
This is what I have to deal with. Like, unironically, he makes me curse more every single time I'm in his vicinity.
I'll be back.
What, did you forget something?
I forgot my glasses.
At work?
No.
Where?
In the car.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad. That was so dramatic, though. Yes, Christian. All I hear is...
Bitch fuck.
Wait! Strokes are good for the soul. I mean, they might be. Ram does handle it pretty well. That was the thing that my mind was going to as well. Gaba was like, no, please. This is too real. I shouldn't be even joking about it. Christian, he is very dramatic. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Who needs to hear? Sometimes at the detriment of my soul. Evil app. Thank you for the F's in chat. I appreciate it, Jeff. Have you heard about the concept idea of parasitic insects, beings that feed on human trauma in the spirit realm? I have, weirdly enough, Gab, I have heard about that, but the way that I think about it is more in the context of polarities, where trauma is a certain polarizing experience / feeling within the human psyche, within the human soul. And technically the human soul is just an extension of that ultimate polarization. So experiencing trauma or perpetuating hate into the world. That was quick. Perpetuating hate into the world, you're basically reinforcing that side of reality. So almost like they're feeding off of it. Yes, God. That's the way I think about it, at least. How about you, dude? What do you think of that idea? Yeah, tell him about it. Tell him. Hello, Melty, Sofina. It's nice to have you with me. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing, friend? How's life been treating you? For some reason, I want to ask you, how are the cats? The cat's meowing to you, friend. I had a dream about them when I could see them in a mushroom trip. I had several. Whoa, 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 whoa. I had a dream about them when I could see them in a mushroom trip I had several years ago. And I told them I don't have anything for them. They don't scare me and I love them. Yes, that's the way, dude. I guess I had more for them to feed on lately. I mean, sometimes it ebbs and flows. You know, maybe you're in collaboration with the wrong side right now instead of the good side, Gab. And just upon realizing it, you can start to make a decision, right? This is the way. What happened, Gab? Just there's a lot of reason to be perturbed right now. Let's say it that way, right, Gab? So many reasons to be perturbed, to be disturbed. What disturbs you right now, Christian? Eminence. Christian, the black hole inside of my body, it calls.
I thought you weren't eating anymore.
Not today. Well, like I'm still cooking a spaghetti tonight, though.
No more food for you, bro.
Where there's no more food left, Christian. I'm finishing it tonight, though. You should be happy, yo. I'm going to start fasting next week, so Christian won't have to buy as much meat. Isn't that nice, Christian?
That's so nice.
It'll save like $5 billion, so in one week, just shoveling tons of food. Just getting shredded. What cats? I have no pets. Okay, maybe it's just the meowdy that like triggered that part of my mind or something. Thank you, Sovina. It's completely okay. Do you want any pets? Are you? Christian, what are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? Are you putting the drawers back?
Yeah.
Does that make you happy?
It does. Scratches and itch.
Like, why did it bother you so much? Like, bro.
I have low-key OCD.
Low key OCD, he says. Oh, okay. As opposed to having high key OCD, of course.
Oh.
Collaboration versus competition, Christian. Like the topic that I mean, that's technically the topic, but I'm talking about it in the context of we technically built our entire society based on this idea that we compete for resources, right? Like we used to kill one another to take each other's camps and take each other's land. And then we build a society around that type of human. So more so than saying collaboration is against competition, to ask the question of like, if we used to be a competition-based society, how would a collaboration-based society look like? Type cancel Christian in chat to cancel Christian now. For $5 you can SMS cancel Christian.
Get this man off the streets. You pay $5 to melt Patreon, man.
Yeah, you just $5 to melt Christian out of the Patreon. So I don't even know, dude. Hello Christian. Thank you, Greetings Tears, for saying hi. I just call it neurosis. I have a bit of that OCD neurosis as well. I think we all probably do. It's in some ways, right? I just feel it depends on how much you love the thing, right? If you love tidiness, you can be OCD about your tidiness. Again, me trying to prescribe everything to love.
I really enjoy a clean house. I actually get incredibly uncomfortable if there's like stains on the floor or just crumbs all over the fucking stove. The kitchen counter.
Did you notice that I cleaned the entire kitchen, Christian? Now that you were talking about how much you like.
And then we wonder why we have cockroaches. I didn't have cockroaches, until fucking.
Oh, are you sure about it? You want to go into that, Christian?
He's like the
Weirdly
cockroach
enough,
king.
I noticed that they actually haven't been around anymore.
Bruh.
Have you seen it one again?
They smell fear, dude. It's because you're here in the apartment moving around and shit, dude. I mean, not smell fear, they can sense danger.
Sense danger. Nice,
Like-
Christian. I'm tripping out about this conversation right now. What's happening? Someone save me. Oh, sit by you. Man, how did I miss? So, okay, there we go. Come to feed you. Come sit by you. I feel the same. Love to you, 1B. It's so nice to have you here, nonetheless. No, where I live wouldn't be fair to them. You should have a cat or set. I guess that makes sense as well. Thank you, Savina, for like being aware and responsible enough. If you guys are not out of food, do you have access to a food pantry? I'm concerned about you. No, infamous sock. It's not like that, friend. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, even if it was like that, I would just not eat
It's
food.
really, it's not that real.
It's not that bad.
It's
Like it
not
was
that
more he's saving for a car, so he's
We
trying to
have
be
to.
cognizant of his spending. So it's okay. Thank you.
We gotta
infamous
buy a
sock.
car, man. We need a car. in
He
this
has a
country.
car. This dude has a car
We
already.
need a
as it
nicer
is.
car. You
He
gotta
needs
have
a
like
nicer car.
a
Hear
Giga
that?
Chad car to pick up the ladies.
He wanted a truck at one point. I want to tell them about that story, because yeah. Like we drive back like basically I think it's
The
only like
only,
the Friday.
the only reason, so I've been planning, man. I've been fucking set in my ways to buy a massive bakkie. We call it here in South Africa, like a
truck.
4x4, off-road type deal truck with like big space in the back where you could put like a fridge and shit. And yeah, man, I wanted to use such a vehicle so I could get to exciting places like hikes, different mountains, and South Africa has a lot of really beautiful nature that is not quite as accessible for small cars that are this high off the ground. So you can't get past the rocks and the off-road. And that I was very set on that, and I was like, there's nothing that's going to convince me otherwise. I am definitely getting myself a nice big truck. And then Estienne comes in and is like, bro, you want to buy a truck when you want to move to Cape Town? Have you seen how fucking tiny those streets are? And I'm like, shit, I didn't fucking think about the tiny streets. Shit.
Parking, dude.
The parking, shit.
Like
And immediately like that, bro, idea gone, man. Absolutely gone.
and it was
And with the
beautiful.
fuel prices, it's even
Yes,
worse.
the fuel prices, dude. Like
Oh, God.
people that have solar installed on their roofs and like drive electric cars right now are like straight balling. Get another lighter. And I think there might be there's one there, and I think there's
How are you? How did you light it the first time?
with the lighter around my neck, Christian. But that is how we say in the industry, my lighter. And I taking it out of this little pouch to give it to you every single time you want to use it is what we call a big pain in the ass. in
What I call it is quay.
yeah, a little bit of queer. A little bit of queer. Thank you again, Infamous Sock, for the love, friend. Have a good day later. Be nice. I'm sorry, Miss Dabs, that we weren't entertaining enough, friend. You see what we did, Christian?
What happened?
Mrs. Dabs was like entertaining me. I'm bored. And then was like here for 20 minutes and was like, okay. Alright, peace out. Cheers. No more for me. Oh, that's a good considered help of their lives. Thank you, Infamous One. I appreciate you so much. We're so fine. Thank you. We're friends IRL. I'm so sorry to hear that, Gob. That's not fair, man. Fortunately, you know that there are good friends out there in the world. Have you had bad friends, Christian? Really bad friends?
I've had many bad friends. Many, many bad friends. But you know what?
I've only had one group of bad friends.
I've had many good friends as well. And I guess you learn the lessons eventually to tell bad friends from good ones. It takes a while. It takes a long time.
Hmm.
Whoever just wished me luck on saving for my new car, thank you. Really, it means a lot.
We appreciate your support.
That has been the goal so far, the goal.
A collaboration society. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm glad you're here to have this support right now. Yeah, you're not alone, Gab. I see you. Oh, here we are in this moment. Reach out to me if you need anything for the day. A collaboration society would be about people working for the betterment of all humans, not just for personal greed or just surviving. Basically, the utopian society seen in Star Trek. I hope for that. I feel Star Trek, I mean, they had cell phones, right? Long before it was even conceptually possible. So maybe they had the collaboration utopian societies right as well. And the way that I think about movies these days is movies or TV shows.
Slight predictions of the future.
either slight predictions of the future or reflections of the human soul in that moment. And if the content we're making is depicting these type of realities, that is where our human soul wants to be or imagine it could be. So collaboration society we come.
If the idea is strong enough for all of us to believe in it, or at least a big part of us to believe in it, it can become a reality through tremendous amounts of effort and time and pain. But it can become a reality.
It will just take some time, dude. I don't think it will take that much pain. I think it will take some change, and
Uh-huh.
some people might experience pain and change, but
I often like thinking about how horrible the Nazis were, but because of them, we've made so many medical discoveries and so many advances in medicine.
yeah, the human torture studies that they did taught us a lot about the human anatomy.
It's heinous, but it's what pushed us forward.
Yeah, collaboration versus competition, Christian. That's it, though.
So you have to choose what you can condone as feasible progress and what means are
Yeah.
all right and which means are not.
Greg's, we don't live close to the ocean, but there's only been like, Christian is being dramatic, I think like 4 during this whole time, like the last 3 weeks. Unless you've found more in your space.
No, there were 4, but you see, these aren't like European cockroaches. These are
Fortunately not, yeah.
African
They're-
cockroaches, bro.
Geoprotein
Fucking massive. You have to like fight them with a flamethrower.
Yeah,
dude.
I have a story.
And you
know,
said,
you
oh,
have
they
a
were
cockroach.
just 4. Those were 4 times we almost lost our lives.
You
bro.
know those like
Like-
side scroller games where you're like turn based, where you attack and then it attacks and then you attack again. Like we barely survived. We had like 5 HP each left.
Dude,
After
I was on
these
2 HP, bro.
No.
It got to the point where we had to like in Tekken spam the leg kick button, the crouch punch. Like definitely crouch, so we could beat this cockroach, bro.
You just like hack the game, you know. Don't want to play fair, otherwise we just get wrecked. It has an exoskeleton. No, I was trained to be that way. My mother's a green fleet to the extreme. Yeah, roaches are no go in my book. It was like
Roaches are fucking disgusting.
it is,
creatures,
and
man.
technically they're basically just insects that adapted to live in human societies. You know, they're no different than a butterfly, no different than an ant. But for some reason, I think that skittish nature doesn't sit well with our brains. Like something that tries to escape the view
They
of
look
light.
evil, bro.
They look evil, exactly. So our brains is like, so nah.
To be fair, like all
Really?
insects look evil. I don't know of a single insect that doesn't look evil. So maybe like
I
a
mean,
butterfly.
if you get up close and you look at the little faces, you know, with a macro lens, all of them look like alien beings, absolutely. But I don't think they're evil. I just think they are. The Buddha discourages his followers for asking too many questions about nirvana and enlightenment. He wanted them to focus on the task at hand, which was freeing themselves from the cycle of suffering. I agree with that, Aiden, and that's why the way that I talk about enlightenment is this genuine personal understanding. You know, you realizing that you're not just this. I can't tell you what that experience is like. It has to be a personal one. Like you personally realize that there is more to your beingness than just your humanity. And then from that, you can, you know, I believe you become more vast in your understanding of your own life, your actions, everything. It's kind of like the whole fractal scenario as well.
I know some people in my life that would say trying to get to know yourself is a waste of fucking time. Do your job and continue with your life.
Knife trying to cut itself, water trying to drown itself, fire trying to burn itself, just yeah.
I'm not sure what that means, but
You can't know yourself, oh.
yeah.
But it's
That's right.
that is the beauty of trying to find yourself.
Rounding back to the argument of like, but bruh.
I think that's the nihilistic perspective on that scenario. For me, it's a beautiful thing. I'll show up like this every single day for my entire existence, and at the end of my life, I will have maybe scratched the surface of myself, of knowing who I am. right? And that is to me a beautiful thing, that you can continue practicing self-exploration, growth, and there will never be an end to that. It's not a nihilistic thing, it's a challenge. It's a collaboration that you have with life to explore life to the fullest. And we do it by showing up in moments like this. That shirt is loud, but cool. Thank you, Fred. I'm happy that you like it. I like it as well. I actually had another shirt on, and then I decided to wear this shirt instead. So the fact that you say that feels so beautifully serendipitous to me. Love you, friend. Thank you. Wouldn't it be nice? Too bad the early, too bad the earth will likely become inhabitable before society ever comes close. That's a little bit morbid, Gob. You're sounding like Christian right now.
I'm not alone in the thought process, man.
I am hopeful, Gob. I really am hopeful. If you look at the amount of progress we're making just in like solar tech right now, it's looking good, dude. It's looking really good. We're figuring things out, friend. It's just gonna take us some time, and it's gonna take us some growing pains as well, right? Like the whole transition periods, but it's possible. And decentralized energy, where individual houses have battery packs, individual communities have battery packs, individual towns have battery packs, individual cities have battery packs, individual states have battery packs, individual countries have battery packs. The world as a whole running on battery packs, running on solar tech. I mean, I think that's gonna be one of the greatest way. Like imagine, dude, no energy instability. Right now, our energy comes from like these, like I think maybe like 9 or something centralized little points being distributed throughout the entire country. Where the non-distributed network is every single house has a battery pack and contributes to the network as a whole. And then if there's an energy outage, the whole network supports that entire community. Smart networks, dude. That's what we're moving towards right now. And if that doesn't give you hope, Gob, what will, dude?
Yeah, but like, who's gonna implement that?
In the UK, it's no longer allowed to build houses without solar on their roofs, dude.
Okay, but what about South Africa?
Christian, we have fiber internet in South Africa, don't we?
Okay,
How do you think that happened?
effort,
Yeah,
a lot of time.
and resources. And a one, two, half things. If we as a society decide, this whole ESCOM thing, not having energy, like we have 4 hours of power outages a day these days. How about no? Right? It's not gonna be that difficult, dude. And again, 10-year time frames, dude. Not right now, Christian. In 10 years, we can do a lot.
Dude, a lot can change in 10 years.
hmm
It's so difficult to predict all of that shit. Come on.
Christian,
Can't be that.
look at the solar panel cost average, the battery cost average over the last 10 years. That's all you have to do. Everything is becoming more abundant, especially when it comes to energy. The internet is going to become more abundant as well with satellite internet. Energy plus internet is a whole new world, a whole new economy. Is the economy technically at this point? There is no economy without the internet in our future.
That much is pretty true. We There's so much that depends on the internet already.
And that is literally collaboration. That is the quintessential fundamental force of collaboration. It cannot be competition within something like that. It would destroy itself instantaneously. Right?
It's mad. It's absolutely mad. Like the access you have online to just Google whatever the hell you need, especially in the IT industry, like in the programming industry. I'm absolutely astounded at the amount of information that's available online that helps you. Sometimes when you're stuck and you think it's a unique situation, you go and you Google it and it's like, oh, holy shit, there's like 75,000 other people that have done this.
Yeah. I've already asked this question.
And it's been answered like multiple different ways.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, dude, and not only that, but now you didn't have to try and answer that question for yourself or struggle for days, weeks, months, try bumping your head against, and that That's again the collaboration thing, right? If there was this extreme competition to the point where people that had this information was like, well, this information is valuable, I can capitalize on knowing this information and keep it to myself, and then make people pay me to have this information. And that was our continued, model of existence going forward. We would make significantly, exponentially less progress than we would in a collaboration mindset where we have what we have right now, the internet, distributed information. People can say things like Reddit. Reddit is supposed to be one of the most beautiful free speech networks, and I hope it continues to be. Like, I know too much about the stuff going on in the background, and it scares me. 10 cents, please, please, please. The CCP. How about no? With all the human rights violations, please. And suddenly, poof, my stream cuts out, dude. me fucking so small. We can make a difference, friends. We just have to start believing in ourselves. And I hope these platforms continue to allow us to do that. It's what's necessary. We have to have collaboration. Good luck saying new cars. Hey, Heather. How are you? Christian, dramatic? Never. No, Christian. A dramatic person. Mm-mm. No, not him. No. He's
I'm really not that dramatic.
all uptight and stuff. Very.
I'm sure there are more dramatic people than me out there in the world.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know people as dramatic as you who's also kind of vocal about their dramatizations. Like I don't mean to out you. Tell me if I can't share this information. During our 3-gram mushroom trip, Christian went and had a shower, and he comes back afterwards, and he just tells us this story about how he was just sitting against the wall in the shower, like brooding in this state of consciousness, asking himself, what is he doing? And it's just like he comes back and we're like thinking, what is he doing? And he comes back with this story of just like extreme drama, like drama to the depth of what drama could be. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. So there might be people more dramatic, Christian, but you're willing to share that drama with other people, which is a beautiful trait you have. Man.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. So much love to you all. Love to you. Thank you, Auntie, for joining us, for sharing love. Love to you, sweet Siobhan. I went through a similar thing in the same week, I believe. Did I miss something from Siobhan? Heather Feather. Not nonetheless. Sending love, Jasmine. Thank you for sharing some love with us. Sending love right back. Oh, my heart, Heather, I'm embracing those hugs. Hugging you tightly since we love so bigly, friend. Thank you for the love. Zen time. I don't think I've seen your name before, friend. It's nice to have you here. You look like Heath Ledger. Had a love child with Seth Rogen. I mean, that is an absolute compliment. I take it as an absolute compliment, friend. Heath Ledger, straight, gangster. Beautiful. I think like when it comes to the roles I feel have been portrayed, his depiction of the Joker has been one of the most beautiful forms of acting, right? The fact that a person, like he was a person, right? Like me and you, eats food, can convince me that there is a monster like that as the Joker, right? That is insane. Think about it, Christian. How did you feel watching The Dark Knight, dude? Like I had a visceral, there was like a instinctual resistance, disgust, however you want to say it, to the Joker character, dude. Like something in me was scared of it. It was like that I could recognize it, if you will. You understand what I'm saying?
I thought it was awesome.
It was an amazing performance. So thank you, Fred. Absolutely.
I'm a big fan of Heath Ledger, even from like the early days, like A Knight's Tale, Casanova. I know some other fucking roles.
Yeah, he was into Heath Ledger before you were into Heath Ledger. Puts on a hipster, twirls mustache. Extra.
He's an awesome actor.
He is amazing. I'm just
Absolutely
choosing you a
awesome
little bit, homie. Like poking the bear as well. patronize Christian. Patronizing Christian, sad reflex.
No, it says Christian.
Patronizing, I mean, why would he say that instead
Christian,
of.
like the religious Christian.
You think he means that?
I think so. I hope so. I don't hope so.
Like I can only imagine him talking about you because you're the only Christian I've mentioned here.
You're also a Christian.
Yeah, technically. I mean, that's an absolute compliment. Again, thank you, friend. Thank you for joining us as well. It's nice to have you here. I have solar on my Toyota's 4Runner that powers cameras and a refrigerator unit in the back. It's like reading those words makes me so happy, right? Like Jasmine has actual technology, modern day technology in a vehicle, which means she can move that thing around. And that vehicle just has to be in open air and sunlight. Turns into fucking energy to power that technology.
You got a little fridge in your car, bro.
Imagine explaining that to like a prehistoric human being, being like, yeah, look at this. What do you think about that?
Spaceship, bro.
I was just imagining like the Rick and Morty, Rick peering the eyes open of the prehistoric human, like, look at it, look at what you see. What do you think they would see? I think it would break their brain a little bit. Imagine showing to like a caveman a car.
They would think it's an animal, bro.
You think that? You think?
Yeah,
that?
you turn that thing on, bro. It goes They're like, oh my god, this thing breathes, bro.
You can climb
It's like
inside
a
of
giant
it.
insect.
Where is its organs? What does it eat? You just like you put this liquid in it, or you're actually, hopefully at that point, just you put sun in it. You put that inside of it. How? How do you do that? Well, you see silicon button hitting electrons, electrons free flowing through a circuit. You're like,
Into a
uh-huh.
battery.
So you're a witch. Well.
And then you also get like conserving engines, bro, that can. I mean, we already power our car batteries through the movement of
Yeah.
our wheels. That's fucking phenomenal, man. I thought that was amazing.
Regenerative
technology.
braking, man. Like we're already.
I know
doing
it's
that.
like old technology, but it's awesome technology.
And we're already technically pretty sufficient with fusion batteries. We just put them in our satellites, not in our cars.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. Humanity right now. It's kind of surreal. It's like a step that we've made so recently as well. Like all of that is within the last 100 years. One human life, basically. All of that. And that's where we're starting the next human life, your human life on. We're already there. Yes, yo. What is the next 44 years gonna look like? Oh, I can't even imagine. I like to try to though. Things have gotten better and worse. There are more people and companies that are focused on progress rather than profit. But then there's also mega corporations holding vast amounts of money and doing nothing with it at all. So you know, the thing that I think is going to happen within the next 22 years basically is people are going to become more conscious of who they support, right? Like we're actually going to pay attention to the companies we choose to support, and we're going to choose to support companies that actually benefit our planet. That is how we vote. We just decide what we spend our money on. That's how we say something, really. That's how they really listen as well. Things have gotten better. Okay, for everyone. Thank you again, friend, for 20 blazes. Hey, it's nice to have you here. It's nice to have you again, friend. Show some respect. I think now he is talking about the whole Christian thing. It's the same reflex. No! I will not. I mean, I'm trying to show respect. Even trying to jokingly not show respect. I felt like it was like, this that disrespectful. No, stop it. I'm sorry. If I what's the word? Insulted? No. Affected? No. Triggered? Maybe. I don't know how to apologize to you, friend. But you're doing okay. Just you're staying at least. You know, keep listening. maybe something will make sense. We do, but was the answer correct? I feel that question in of itself, like we kind of grow up in a society where we have tests that have correct answers and we have mathematical formulas that have only one correct answer. And then that's technically the schooling system that we find ourselves in. Like, and there's very little room for original thought, creativity in that system. And then we kind of fall into that line of thinking as a whole of society where certain things are correct and certain things are incorrect. And then there is no balance. There is no infinity. There is just two separated sides.
I don't think it's that strict. I mean, we're permitted to do art in school, drama, languages, sometimes even philosophy, depending on which school you go to. I don't think it's too harsh.
Holmes, when you think about going back to school, does that fill you with inspiration and anticipation?
Not really.
Like, I feel that question,
I feel like I would want to make it a little more interactive.
yeah.
Like the teaching could be a little bit more interactive.
Dude, give kids the
Where it's
opportunity
like,
to talk to people.
Okay, we're studying English. What do you guys want to cover? What do you want to know? And then if they don't have an answer for you, like, cool, well, I have an idea. We can check this stuff out.
Curriculum, yeah.
Not necessarily the curriculum, just whatever.
But like that's how the
That's why
curriculum
teachers,
forms, yeah.
really good teachers, should be highly valued because they can inspire inquisitiveness in their students to such a degree where they actually become thirsty to know more.
Yeah. And I feel that's the real thing that is important, dude, is not only the thirst to know more, but then to have that as a communication channel, right? Like imagine if we actually had opportunities to as groups talk about concepts. Like in biology, talking about the human organism, and then talking about what comes up to us as a human organism, right? And then like having a conversation, a discussion about that, and then maybe spreading that conversation into the group. I'm imagining even having multiple different groups have multiple different conversations. The best conversation out of each group gets posed. Those conversations get posed to the group as a whole. Like imagine the growth that could happen on a mental level if we actually had class in that way, dude. Like it's instead of being taught something, no, noise in your environment that you have to try and extract some wisdom from. You can have that as an interactive process. That's true creativity. That's what I think of as what the schooling system could be, and what it could be. Like I'm imagining inspiration or anticipation for school and what that had to be for me to actually have that, right? Like school as it was for me, absolute dread, absolute anxiety, boredom, mind numbing comes to mind.
That's life, bro.
Nah, dude.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's not life for me.
That's not all of life.
That's not life for me.
I don't know, for me, I definitely had those moments in school, but I also had really awesome moments in school. I met some excellent friends in school. Some of the closest friends I've ever had in my life, and we talked about everything. We shared everything. We fucking played games together. We went on adventures together, on hikes together. We had relationships amongst all the female girls, and then we fucking chat about it, man. I don't know. It was a lot of fun.
All I'm hearing is love. The fact that you could have conversations with friends.
Yeah.
And that's what I.
And you'd get to share in a
Yeah.
sort of mutual hatred of the system. You'd be like, I fucking hate that we have 8 classes every single day, again and again and again, and we have homework
Yeah.
and we have shit to do.
And it will
sucks.
still be that. But at least in this way that I'm thinking right now, it's going to be constructive. Like you're not going to just be funneling noise into your brain. you and your peers are going to be posing questions, and then you and your peers.
I
are going to be
definitely
coming up
think
with
it would be
answers.
awesome for it to be slightly less constrictive. Like, it kind of sucks that you do curfew and shit. And it kind of sucks that the papers all are based on a curriculum of specific questions.
Yeah.
There should come a point where you're like, cool, this kid is actually talented in this subject if you just let him study what he wants to study in it. So I would like for the papers to maybe be a little more broad, you know, of not broad, how should I say, a little more quadranted. Like if you're gonna do math, geometry, but a geometry to the extreme or some
Yeah.
shit. I don't know. Don't fucking quote me. I'm just spitballing at this point.
You have to do all of it. At least a little bit. Right? Explore. And then find.
Yeah, but that's what the curriculum tries to do. It's like we're gonna give you a broad range of subjects, and this is what you're gonna study in them, and you're gonna have these
But
question papers.
I understand that, but I feel extenuating that, fullness of the spectrum, if you will, isn't necessarily beneficial. Like the amount of time we spend shoveling useless information, dude. Like, can you even remember a single thing you learned other than reading in primary school?
I know a bit of math. I know some physics. I definitely know a lot of biology.
What you learn in primary school?
Oh, primary school.
Up to grade 7, though.
I learned how to read and write.
Exactly. You could do that in a single year, dude. I could read and write before I went to school. I mean,
I learned a bit of math. Definitely some math. Up to grade 7, dude, I learned loads. Are you joking? I was like a full-fledged genius by grade 7.
I remember us believing that, yeah.
I swear to you, bro, like, you learn things that are awesome.
I mean, all the things that I learned, I was a little bit of a bookworm in my primary school, dude, because I wasn't very popular. So I was reading in the library, and the library was also kind of cool, a little bit less, a little bit more conditioned than the outside air. So I would just spend time reading, and I feel that is where I learned the most. And to me, I imagine if I had the opportunity to just be given whatever book I wanted to read, whatever subject I found interesting next, and to have that as the information, as my curriculum, going through all of those years I went to school for, I would be a significantly different and more abled person than I am having done what I did in high school, dude. Like, I genuinely don't feel any of the information that they gave me was useful, dude. I had math, I had normal math, I had IT, I had chemistry, and I passed. That shit, I mean, day to day, what life means, not much use, so it's a little bit difficult. Want some of my water? Here you go. Eden, thank you for having us. It's nice to have you here. Thank you for the wholesome seal of approval. I appreciate it. Christian's extreme intelligence enables a very vocal connection between his thoughts and our ears. Thank you for listening. Heather, I appreciate the love so much. Put it down.
It's not extreme intelligence. It's a complete facade.
He's so intelligent.
It's a complete facade.
He's hyper intelligent. Like people compare him to like Einstein.
It's faking it.
Einstein, Stephen Hawking,
completely
Spider-Man.
faking
I
it
heard,
all the time.
Iron Man.
Shut up.
The Buddha, A Glass Darkly, thank you for joining us, Fred. It's nice to see you. It's been a while. Enchino Man. Know who Enchino Man is?
Mm-mm.
That's your superhero name. Because all of those previous higher intelligence is consolidated into you, Enchino Man.
I have no idea what Enchino Man is.
You are Enchino Man.
I have to Google it.
Jump into my
whatever Mel just said to me.
Our neighbor has solar on his van and a small camper. It powers everything, and he applied for a grant since he is using it to travel for work, so he paid nothing. Those words I feel like I'm hallucinating right now. Heather, thank you for sharing them with me. How long do you think it would take for a prehistoric person to adapt to modern technology and lifestyles? No less than 10 years, honestly. What is Enchino Man? A movie?
Oh fuck! Right.
The human mind.
I saw a message and I started
Squeak!
recording.
Yeah, a little dopamine loop. 420 Blazed. I'm mind blown how far technology has advanced just in the last 25 years. Just imagine, like it's exponential. It's a movie, dude. Yeah. People say I look like Enchino Man as well.
Brendan Fraser. Oh my god. That's
Yeah, when he
an
was
actor
young.
I haven't seen in a long time. Now we have to watch this movie. Thank you.
We're watching Enchino Man tonight.
I've never watched Encino Man.
I also haven't watched it, and it's not the first time that someone says that, so.
Sean, what?
Now is the point. You see, now it's gonna happen. Gotta watch Enchino Man. Now we're gonna watch it, Eden. We will watch it because of our beloved Jumpin' Jumanji has manifested. We will see it now. Learn, think it out. Mind blown. Technology has outgrown humanity. This is an imbalance that should have more focus. I feel humanity, like instead of technology becoming, I can think it's gonna be a mix. Like humanity is gonna become more technological, but technology is also going to become more biological. So it's gonna be
That would
a
be very
synthesis.
nice. I'd feel, honestly, I'd feel a lot more comfortable if I knew it had like biological parts. Having having metal in my brain is kind of concerning.
Holmes, like this understanding of being able to use DNA to store information.
Mhm.
You could literally grow furniture and make that your data storage network, dude. Yeah. You can code into it certain structures, it will grow into that structure.
Oh.
And then it can, in its
Oh.
structures, with its DNA
Oh.
structures, code DNA.
You grow a flesh couch.
I mean, no, not flesh, plants. Plants,
Flesh
plants.
with skin.
Plants.
Just pristine.
No skin.
Warm skin.
No warm skin. Plants.
And you occasionally just put a cake in its mouth. Its mouth is just incidentally by the feet.
Christian, this is why we can't have nice things. Please,
Thank you, master.
I can't stop. Stop though. You're
Let me lie on
you're
your
violating my
flesh
imagination right now. This is not right, dude.
Ah, yeah.
Brother, friend.
So warm.
Love him. I'm not.
Don't even
No
need a
more
blanket.
paying attention to the insanity. And Cheetah Man is hilarious. We have to watch it now. Thank you, Jumpin' Jumanji. Great film. I might have to rewatch tonight. Maybe we'll be rewatching it as well. So, well, rewatching it for the first time. They say teaching people teaches you the most. I feel it does. Like I'm definitely like I actually, the synchronicities. I was reading this book entry again, and that's one of the things that we're talking about. How teaching is something that it's a paradoxical loop as well, where every single thing, every single person, every single moment can be your teacher. Like in a way that has been so surreal to me, Holmes. I mean I'm looking at the stripes that you left on the door, dude. And I notice there's two different spectrums of feeling about that, dude. Teacher.
I straight up want to paint. I don't know why I went Australian there.
I want to bet.
Straight up want to paint the sky one day. I want to put in as much effort as I can and actually paint like the sky. But I want to canvas and I want oil paints. And then I'm gonna try it because that shit is dope.
For some reason, the first place my mind went is you literally painting the sky. And I'm just imagining you were like a brush sitting on the earth, laying on your back, baby, just like painting the sky. It was kind of beautiful in imagination, and then you mentioned on a canvas with some oil paint, and then the fractal change suddenly kind of like erupted. No wheezing. I'm guessing that's a line. Won't get it just yet. Thank you, friend, for the encouragement. My interpretation of Christian versus Mel's interpretation of school. Christian's describing high school, Mel's visualizing college slash university. Hmm. Maybe. Is that the way university was for you?
No. University was even cooler. Sorry. University was even cooler than high school, man. I loved college, as they would say in America.
College.
College.
College. Yeah, we say university here in Static, but I think you said that as well. Thank you, Heather. Being so inclusive. Greg expects some unrest here in the States, guys. Send some good vibes for us. Whether you believe in Roe v. Wade or not, bad times are coming. Greg, good times are coming. Let's manifest, friend. Like, expect some unrest. I'm expecting strength, expecting the ability to, even in unrest, the ability to share love. Here in the States, guys, send some good vibes. That I can do. Good vibes being sent. For us, whether you believe, I believe in Roe v. Wade, good times will still come. I feel you, friend. I'm so here with you. I'm not making any less of your feelings right now. But I believe that our words have power. And even though these things are happening, we know they're happening, we can be aware that they're happening, and we can still choose to, choose love. Choose love at the end of the day. I appreciate you, Greg. Thank you for showing up for it as well, friend. Like, that's why you're here. For love, right? At the end of the day. So I believe you believe already, friend. Thank you. Thank you for encouraging us to share love as well. I went to a gifted school for a while, and the structure is much more free. They basically give you activities and let you figure things out. You do a lot of baking and art, and it's a lot less rigid. It is very self-led. That sounds beautiful, actually. I feel, like you said a special school, a gifted school. I think if we share more of that type of like learning style with humanity, we'd be better off for it in the long term. Because the current human, and this sounds very logical, unempathetical, so please bear with me. The current human that the school system outputs is not the human we need going into the future. It's a human that sits on its seat, asks to go to the bathroom, has rigid structures, schedules that they need to attain, and then that is like a narrative, a built-in system over 12 years of your life to prepare you for the working world, where that world is slowly melting away. That's where I'm coming from right now. I hear what you're saying about specific study areas, but it's also important to understand the entirety of the theory area of study. Yeah, I'm not even remotely caught up with all of the complexity of that situation. I'm literally just speaking what's coming to my mind in this moment right now. Thank you for bringing that up as well, Jumpin. Did anyone else just give up on school in fourth grade? No, 420 blazes. I finished only because of societal norms.
I think at the time, yeah, probably. I was like, I just want to get this over and fucking done with.
Yeah.
I want to get through this and continue my life under my own rules.
Exactly. But that's the joke, dude.
That is the joke. The joke.
Because you could have done that the whole time. But I mean, that's the trap we're in right now. All schools should have been like my gifted classes. Children would be much more engaged. It's insane that we only give the opportunity to children/teens deemed above average to intelligence. Yeah, that's the thing. Every single person is above average in everything or in something, and we need to provide environments where people can let their genius actually shine. And if we don't create different systems than just one single rigid this is right, this is wrong kind of system of schooling, then we're going to be stagnating, suffocating people in their youth, literally where there's the most fire for inspiration. Also, I think a big part of school is socialization. Yep, a lot of littles wouldn't get otherwise. A lot of littles wouldn't get otherwise. I'm thinking you're talking about kids, right? Learning how to live in the world with other people. I agree that that's what I think school should be about. It should be teaching you people skills. You need to learn how to be a human being in the world in school, not learn how to regurgitate mindless information. You need to be a person. And school can teach you how to do that, but school needs to teach you how to do that. At least that was my experience. My primary school slash high school is meh. They taught info at a time where we either one had zero interest or two would entertain the information possible because three it was taught in a subpar way. And after you like stuff it in your mind and you write your test, you're like, okay, thank you. Delete the information. This topic you started, Mel, is a discussion needed today. Dregs, this is what we do this for, right? Like we show up and I don't come here with a script. I come here with an intention to share love and then from that intention a branch that is today, for example, collaboration versus competition. So thank you. Or not even versus, but
So
two spectrums.
here's the problem with what schools are in this day and age. They've become businesses.
Yeah.
It's a business. It's we need to pump out money, man. And how do we pump out money? We make sure our school is fucking awesome. You know, it looks great, and we get high grades and everything, and we
People are passing.
everyone's passing, and blah de blah de blah. We teach great disciplinary skills and morals, and
Work
we get
ethic.
your kid the best certificate that will get him into university.
Yeah. And then it becomes like a whole
Business,
hierarchy
business,
thing as
business.
well.
And it's like, why aren't we making money? Fire this fucking teacher, get this teacher. They'll work for less and be better at it. And,
It's the churn, dude. It's the current churn of our.
they will follow
economic system.
instructions.
Yeah. Oh, then in high school, I took a class that was basically for special needs kids, and it was actually the most informative class that I've ever taken. They taught taxes, cooking, interview skills, etc. You see, that is literally what we need to be taught as people. Like, what are all of the nonsense? Why? I can't speak for all education systems, but I feel like mine was geared towards numerical results, mine as well, and less focused on progression of the whole. Seeing how well students pass tests rather than preparing them for problem solving. Again, and that's competition, right? That's not collaboration, that's competition mindset. Also teaching outdated material. You're so in tune, friend. Thank you for sharing that anecdote. Seventh grade here, I discovered drugs. Much better than school. Marijuanas. That's radical, dude. Allowing people to pursue. Don't smoke weed, kids. Wait until you're 25, please. Allowing people to pursue their passions moves us closer to collaborative society when we can work for love instead of money. Grim Reaper. You can't run these creeps when you keep giving them to me, Fred. I appreciate you saying that. But I haven't been in school for years. I hope it's progressed since then. I hope it continues to progress. I hope so as well. I'm hopeful, Siobhan. I think sharing ideas, kind of like talking about these things, help as well. My college experience, amazing. Conversations with open-minded intellectuals, learning through experience and research, like the people you meet in college. Like that's again what it's about. You know, it's not about the college. It's about a node of connection where you can actually meet people. I love your brains. Thank you for $5 billion. You know, I'll keep them down. I'll give you a spoon, friend. Help yourself. All of the brains you want. I'm so sorry. That's horrible. That's so horrible. I'm so sorry. I'm with you. Legit, I hated school until college. I was totally a different person. So motivated, engaged, and excited because it's information you actually wanted to learn.
I agree.
That's the way. That is the way.
I 100% agree.
Right? Just to be a fly on the wall listening. You're not even flies. You are actively communicating. Like, if a fly could just like project imagery into our brains, words, you know, of love, you're not much more than flies. Loving beings with us, warm and hungry skin couches that only eat cake and stores data. Brilliant. That
Make
is
it a
some.
reality.
That is some like
Skin couch.
Black Mirror
Walmart near you.
horror. No, stop it! No, the corporate tags.
Amazon is shipping skin couches.
You've just like literally like there's an AI listening. You've just hyped Amazon. Here is 500 credits to spend on your nearest Amazon.
Immediately getting a skin couch with my 500 credits.
Get me that.
Oh, and if someone breaks in, it eats them. Disposes of the body naturally. No evidence.
That is a violation on so many fronts. So. Like, please, my friend. No, but I'm scared. No, let's stop it. Stop it, friend. Stop it, please. Does the couch get good? Stop it. I hated high school chemistry. Just passed college chemistry. I was literally top of my class. I was a totally different experience, much more interesting. Eden, I'm happy that you got through it. You know, that you're on the other side of it. Like, I feel one of the best parts about school is being able to not be in school and look back at how horrible school was. No, like that's the only value that school has to me right now.
Really?
Yeah, dude, like
Come on.
I sometimes just think about I like reflect back to being in that state of mind, in that place, going through that church.
I feel like it's become mainstream media to dramatize school. It really wasn't too horrible.
Dude, it was one of the worst experiences of my life. Unironically, Christian. Choose love. That's a daily quote. Thanks. That's what I try, friend. You know, love is true. Like, if out of all of the things that we have in this world, one of the only truths that I keep finding, one like over and over again, and it's you technically, is love. Thank you for sharing your love as well. So that's exactly accurate. Thank you for sharing that synchronicity as well, Heather. It is never properly prepared. You for working the world, let alone the world of tomorrow. Exactly. Budgeting, for example, was never covered. Cooking usually stops in middle school and never had the time to teach it properly anyway. Yeah. And how many people actually cook for themselves right now in the world? You know, not only are we tired after coming back from work, but it's so easy and it's almost sometimes more affordable to just, you know, buy fast food. I had to memorize Bible verses in my grade school. Like, that was a little bullshit for sure. Institutions, agreed. Mindless memorizing is silly, whether it be Bible verses or anything else, to be clear. I agree completely. I feel if information is given to us and then asked, what is our understanding of that information? How can we apply that information? How can that information serve us in day-to-day life? How can that information serve our relationships? How can that information serve potential business venture? Like, there is so many questions to be asked around a particular bit of information and why it applies into life. And that type of stuff doesn't go away once you understand it. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll see change. I'm sure we will. Little by little, education becomes another money maker. That's it. Still remember the scripture for childhood, give free love. In the US, they just want butts and seats because every student equals Dara bills. That is why they began calling when your child is absent, not because they're concerned for child health safety, just as like, I'm losing money, where's your kid? Oh, needs to be sitting in a chair right now to make me some money. Religion, education, politics should never exist in the same, never like regulated by the same in this institution either. Definitely not. I mean, could you teach kids about proper nutrition? I feel like that's a big, just tell kids what sugar does to you, you know, as an education as well. I love my tiny Subaru Outback now that I live in the city. I think he has one as well, asking questions. The Buddha discourages his followers. Yeah, you're completely right, Aiden. Thank you for sharing as well, friend. I think I'm missing a few are bad, the pandemic was bad, but it's still beautiful, the universe despite these things. And it's, I had this emotional realization recently where I was thinking about the fact that I'm seeing light in front of myself right now, and I'm not seeing anything behind me right now. And I was like, oh, everywhere I look, there is the infinite light and the infinite darkness right now. So all of those horrific things of humanity, of existence, and yet all of the beauty of it right now as well. And it's what we choose to see. I was starting to agree, but when I thought we're trying to mix max children, like, would I like a mini maxed stats? I think I'm already there. I'm straight up tripping out. I don't even know. If you look for good, you find it. Controversy. If you seek the bad, you will find that too. 10 things I hate about you. A version of Heath Ledger was my Man, do you remember the movie? And Chino Man, dude. We have to watch Chino Man tonight. We're gonna watch Chino Man. There was my brain relying on what I was taught about South Africa. Seas melt, sitting outside. How is this guy sitting outside and not getting eaten by a lion?
Because his brother would shoot the lion through the window, dude.
My brother.
Like, no fucking jokes. The stories I've heard about Estion's family is ridiculous. They haven't actually like shot a lion through the window, but they did have a kudu. And if you Google a kudu is a bloody massive buck. Okay, it's huge, and it came strolling into their garden, from the wild, just like
It was not in the
out of
garden, it was
nowhere.
just on the little field next
Whatever.
to the garden.
Next to their house. And me thinking the person that I am, I'd look out my window and be like, "Oh my God, that's amazing. That is so beautiful. We just have wilderness in our
Wildlife
backyard, bro. Like,
here.
this beautiful,
Yeah.
pristine marvel of nature that has just been created with all of these tiny atoms building up into such a beautiful structure. Comes
Living
walking into
organism.
my garden, and fucking just."
Long range snipe though. You actually get sniped, bro.
His brother straight up didn't hesitate, dude. He saw the kudu, he was like, "Oh, wait, sick." Bah! Shoots this thing
Yeah. And then
down. Cuts it up and sells it, bro.
No, we didn't sell it.
You didn't sell it?
Maybe he sold. I don't know. Like to me, the crazy thing is, Christian,
I thought he sold
is
it.
that the friends have literally heard like gunshots on my streams, dude. So like this is something that happens, and like the amount of pain in my heart and soul while I hear these things go on, and then just like still choosing love, right? Like yes, these things are happening. Absolute insanity, and yet what do we choose to share? What do we choose to focus on? Learns your nerds. Have fun with your dad. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you so much, Jovan. Love to you, friend.
I'm gonna go. Get stuff ready.
Encino. Encino. Is it Encino? Is it? Oh, you're supposed. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Steers, for making sure I say it correctly. Nice idea. But kids care more about taste. I still say if you have a lettuce taste like a bar of chocolate, they would eat it all day. That's true, right? It's just a little dopamine circuits in their brain going off. I love how you guys are saying it though. It's Encino, not Encino.
Okay.
Thank you again. How much did you guys smoke? This much of a joint? Between the two of us? Thank you for asking, friend. It's nice to have you here. They are shot here too, killed and butchered for meat. Yeah. Yeah. To my brother, it was seen as a resource. So I understand where he's coming from a primitive perspective. So I can't really be judgeful, but I can choose not to do the same. Have a solid day, guys. See you tomorrow. Gregs. Love to you, friend. Adios, friends. It's been fun. Love from the Netherlands. Love to you. Thank you, friends, for joining me. It's always a pleasure. Wait a second, actually. So, I was like thinking about this today. I want to tell you something. We have a Patreon, you know? This Patreon, I get to turn the clothing that I'm wearing right now into flowers. Actual flowers. I contort reality and I turn them into flowers. The next few flowers will probably be a little bit less than perfectly symmetrical. And I used to make them like perfectly symmetrical, in all axes, going from the numbers 1 to 9 over and over again. And then like this, I had this emotional opening revelation that I don't have to make everything perfect every single time. And to see how my art that I get to share on the Patreon, changes with these streams, with the experience of reality, and how it's a means for me to share flowers, like actual flowers, and from this perspective that flowers can have medical benefits, the ability to lower blood pressure, the ability to release dopamine into our brains, oxytocin, feeling a sense of love for something. But That's just me making sure you know. Probably already do. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Love to you. See you again tomorrow, friends. Thank you. Thank you so much for fun. Thank you. I appreciate it so much, my friend. Thank you for tagging the links. Love to you, friends. I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Cheers, cheers. No card. Actually, you know, where do I put my cards? There they are. Skibidi bop. Skibidi boop boop. Ooh. Water. Let's see. I shuffled this deck probably what, 20 times or something. Thank you. So let's see. Yes. Have a beautiful day, everyone. I love you also dearly, Mel, Christian, friends. Shannon. As I love you. Piercing the Veil. This is a cool card, though.
Oh.
This is a pretty cool card. It's one of the cards that I feel I read differently because instead of having a sense of separation with this card, I consider myself to be the depiction of this card, if that makes any sense.
Also.
Yeah. So I'm gonna read the reverse first because we technically did draw it in the reverse. I don't know. Okay, that's just the door, I guess. Cool. So the reverse goes, this awareness could also represent a passage from the three-dimensional reality, a journey that pierces the veils between life and death. Seek the wisdom and sensitivity needed to be a support to those who are facing loss and those who are passing. I mean, loss comes in many different ways. So here goes the full meaning of the card. There are passages and veils through which shamans and visionaries transcend personal limitations and pierce through outmoded thought forms. It is by purity of purpose and by the ability to focus intentions that this becomes possible. This shaman holds a bundle of arrows representing the strength of the peaceful warrior. He is surrounded by blue flames that burn away ego. Powerful five-flower geometry aids him in his interdimensional quest. This is a demanding pursuit that will require the visionary to be conscious and vigilant. As he pierces veils of illusion, he gains self-awareness and access to insights and wisdom beyond the conventional. This card suggests that you are in a quest of greater understanding of your life path. Imagine that you travel with this shaman into the geometry and into your own pursuit of self-awareness. Gaze past the veils of ego and delusion. Let it be your intention to move beyond these limitations and into your own personal truth. Courageously step forward and pursue the way of wisdom. It's nice. Very nice. You know, that's the cool thing about sacred geometry. It's like all of it is complete subjective. And again, it's all noise. Right? That's all it is, Christian.
What?
Everything is noise. But you get to choose what noise you put into your body.
If you spell applesauce
with just A's, you get. Yes, it's true, Christian. Noise. And you're the one that can make humor. You're literally making humor out of noise. Dude. And to put noises into our brains, and like technically this noise, the card disappeared. This noise comes along with like imagery as well, you know, a shaman holding arrows, these beautiful flowers, fires, melting away ego, right? You know, like just all of these layers of frequencies. Thank you for allowing me to share it with you friends. I appreciate it so much. Very interesting. Thank you, Mel. Thank you. You manifested that, Shannon. If it wasn't for you asking for a car, that moment would not have been had. I appreciate you so much. Love to you, friends. Have an amazing day.